Hi everybody, welcome to today's pillar strength class. Just a real quick, explanation of what the switch up was with this month's or these couple of months change in Group X schedule. The reason that I wanted to kind of make the pillar strength classes the recorded version that's just going to be found on YouTube on Tuesdays is because I feel that some of our movements are a little bit trickier, a little more unorthodox than what we might experience in our typical cross training classes. So I feel that it might be a little bit more useful to have this, streamlined so that you can attack these movements and the different exercises that we do at your own pace. You have the luxury of pausing, best of rewinding rather than trying to keep up if it's a live session. Of course, we are still going to be having our cross training classes if you're also a part of those. That will just be on Thursday now, and that'll be live. So this 20-minute pillar strength class, the first one of this new kind of format, is going to be focused around dynamic strength and controlling our movement. So when we talk about what pillar strength is, it refers to the mobility, our ability to move throughout our pillar, but also our ability to stabilize our pillar. This class we're going to be focusing on the mobility, and then we're also going to be focusing on stability and our static exercises next week. All right, so keep an eye out for that. All you'll need for this workout is just going to be a yoga mat, a nearby wall, and just a drink of water as always. Again, this should last about 20 minutes. All right, yeah. So I'll get my timer ready. We will start with a warm-up. As always, you could probably guess it. Let's start with warming up our neck. So we'll look up to the ceiling ahead of us, on top of us. All right, hands on the top of our forehead. Apply a little bit of pressure down and resist the motion as you bring your chin closer to your chest. So you're looking at the ground. All right, hands on the back of your head, right by your occipital protuberance. It's an anatomy term for the little bump in the back of your head. All right, and then apply some pressure and extend your neck up so you're looking back up at the ceiling, nose pointed up to the sky. All right, next we're going to do a rotation. Look over that left shoulder. Okay, I'm keeping you on your toes here. I think I typically do the tilt first. All right, we'll rotate back the other way. All right, now ear down to your shoulder. Work through that resistance. And then we'll flip it to the other side. All right, hopefully it doesn't get too boring to start all of our workouts with that, but I really do think it's very much essential that we get our neck loosened up, because if anything goes wrong here, big risk of injury. Instead of our regular trunk rotations, now we're going to do downward dog kickback. So if you have any experience with yoga, you should, the name downward dog should kind of ring a bell. What you're going to do is hinge at your hips. You can bend your legs a little bit at first, but then walk your hands out until your legs are straight. And you should ideally have a straight line from your shoulders to your hips, and then your hips down to your ankles. All right? You can tuck that head between your hands for an extra stretch. Now, just take turns alternating which leg you're going to kick back up in the air. This is a really good warm-up exercise for our hips. I'm going to go straight back first, and then I'm going to mix it up and I'm going to go out to the side. Make sure we activate that core to keep our stability here, and breathe, because we are a little bit upside down. All right, then I'm going to finish it out with just a couple of faux mountain climbers. Get all those angles of movement in our hips loosened up. All right, now you can walk your hands back up, bend those legs a little bit to allow you to stand straight up. And then we are going to do some lunging thoracic spine openers. So as the name probably rings a bell, the thoracic spine is just above your lumbar spine, up to your shoulders, just in this general area. That's our mostly movable part of our back. So we're going to take a lunge step out, get down. It's okay if you're down on the ground with it too. You can lean forward to stretch a little bit of your groin if you don't feel adequately stretched with the hip mobilizers. But my left leg is out, so what I'm going to do is reach my left arm in front of that leg and then open it up to that same side. So I'm trying to point behind me now. All right, now I'll come back to the front and then rotate back to the back, or around to the back. All right, I'll do this just a couple more times. If you spread the other arm out, that's just going to be an added torque, so it's a little bit more loosened up. All right, I'll do it one more time, then I'll switch sides. All right, so now my right leg is gonna be out. I'll get a little stretch in my groin. All right, I'll point my right arm out in front of me and then rotate until it points behind me. Use one arm or both arms, up to you. This should be under control. You don't want to be too aggressive with it because it could possibly damage our spine a little bit. All right, just if you go too explosive with it and you're not warmed up right. So for our workout today, we're kind of going to go back. I think last week we did the traditional workout, so where we do 3 sets of the same exercise, move on to the next exercise, blah, blah, blah. But now we're going to go revisit the cycle type of, format. So we will go through a list of 5 exercises, 3 different times, so for 3 cycles with 1 minute rest in between each. I'm pretty sure each of our exercises are just going to be for about 30 seconds for each exercise, although, let me see. Yeah, and all of them are going to be, working at the same time, so we don't have to do repeat any for, the left and the right side. We'll just keep going. All right. So the first exercise we're going to do, if you remember what our bird dogs were, we will start out on our backs this time. All right. Now, last time we did bird dogs, we started on our quadruped stance, but now we're going to try a supinated bird dog. So make sure that we have a little bit of space below our backs, and we're going to get right started with this cycle as soon as we get started with the bird dog. So make sure you're ready for this. If you need to drink up a sip of water while I'm explaining, that's all right. So for this iteration of bird dogs, you want to contract your core. Don't let that low back touch the ground, because then you're going to be cheating some of these movements and your core stability that's going to be needed here. But I'm going to use my left hand, put it again on top of my right knee. I'll extend my left leg and my right arm and then bring them in, all right? Once I bring them back in, I switch sides, extend my left arm and my right leg, bring them back in. And the whole time I'm applying pressure to my knee with my hand, all right? On the hand and knee that are touching, you're applying the pressure. So I think that that's probably one of the, the most new ones. All right, you know what? That's fine. We're gonna get right started. All right, everybody ready? Got that sip of water, hopefully? And here we go. So 30 seconds of those supinated bird dogs. Ooh, let me move this. All right. On your marks, get set, go. If you're applying that pressure to your knee, you should really feel a challenge to stabilize your core through this movement. All right, got a little bit over 10 seconds left, that's it. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Next up, we have planking overhead raises. So just get down in your regular plank stance. You're going to have your hands underneath your shoulders, your toes curled up underneath the floor or on top of the floor. Make sure that we have a straight line going from our ankles to the knees, to the hips, to the shoulders. Contract that core so we're not rounding our backs up. We're not letting it droop down. We're going to keep it nice and engaged here. And then for 30 seconds, we're going to alternate which arms we raise up. So get going. Just like this. Focus on keeping your stability through this exercise. All right? Your goal should be to make your arm go in that same straight line that is running from your ankles to your knees to your hips to your shoulders. The whole time, don't compromise your stability or that plank form. Planking overhead raises here. So we got about 5 seconds left. Keep it going. This one's pretty tough. All right. Good. Next, we're going to do single leg glute bridges. So get back down on your back. This time we'll have our knees slightly bent. What I want you to do is lift your toes off the ground a little bit for these bridges. So we're going to make sure that our force drive when we come up for our bridge is going to come through our heels. That's going to help activate our hamstrings and our glutes. So when we drive up with we're going to use one leg to drive up, and then simultaneously we're going to drive the non-pushing leg into the air like a sprinter. Okay? We're going to do this for 30 seconds, switching sides each rep. On your marks, get set, and come on. All right, and go. Switch sides. Switch sides. It's going to feel a little unorthodox first. You got it. Make sure you're driving on that heel. That's why we're picking those toes up. As you lift up, you should have that straight line from your shoulders to your hips to your knee. Shouldn't just be tossing your hips in the air and making your hips come above that line. Should be in line and using your core to stabilize. All right, got about 5 seconds left. Keep alternating and driving that knee up. I think I was forgetting a little bit there. A little distracted. All right, 3, 2, 1, good. Next up, we have plank full body opener. So this one is going to be kind of challenging, but we'll get started right away. So get back down in that plank position. All right, hands underneath our shoulders. We got that straight line going, activated our core. And when we go to do this, we're going to kick one of our legs through and open the opposite arm up to the ceiling. Just like that, all right? And then switch sides. So I just kicked my left leg through and raised my right arm. So now I'll kick my right leg through and raise my left arm. All right, keep going. 30 seconds now. I'll start the timer. Good. Ooh, get my water. Now try to keep your core activated here. You're not just going to try to move through this nice and easily. You want to stay under control the whole time. The point of our workout today is dynamic strength and controlling our movements. 10 seconds left. Step through with the left leg, open up the right arm. 3, 2, 1, done. Our final exercise for the cycle is going to be go to your nearby wall, get down in a wall squat. So this is kind of a static exercise right here on its own, but we're going to add the mobility and the dynamicness to it by reaching up with the backs of our hands against the wall, bringing them down, flat against the wall, and then go straight back up. So we're going to keep doing this for 30 seconds. Get going. Try to keep the backs of those the backs of those hands flat against the wall, along with our elbows and our forearms. 15 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. All right, so take your minute break. We have a minute before the next round starts. Catch your breath a little bit. That was a little bit intense. We got 2 more cycles to go. Hopefully you're gonna get a lot out of this workout here. Learn to move pretty effectively and control it. But just one thing I wanted to touch on real quick with those wall squats. I think from what I was seeing, I know I was kind of far away, but it looked like I was cheating my knees out a little bit too much. Make sure your knees track directly over your toes. And you're getting down to that nice low stance where your butt and your thighs are parallel with the ground. Okay, just like that. You want to make sure when we're against that wall, our back is upright and press against it. All right? Take about 30 more seconds here before we move on to the next cycle. I'm going to check my time. All right, perfect. Timing up well. Although some of those movements were a little strange, hopefully, you've got a taste of what they're like. That'll be your first time, so you can learn the positions of the movement. This cycle through, work on really mastering the pattern, and then a third one through, we're going to dominate the power. Okay? We're going to really maximize this workout. So, in about 10 seconds, we'll start with those supinated bird dogs. All right, here we go. In 5. Remember to keep that space under your lower back. 4, 3, 2, 1, begin. Remember to apply that pressure with the opposite hand that's touching the opposite knee. The more you can raise your hand and extend it in a straight line, extend your leg in a straight line, the more you're going to benefit from this because it's really working to recruit the correct patterns through these stabilizing movements. 10 seconds left. Keep it up. Keep it up. All right. 3, 2, 1, done. Next up, we have the planking overhead raises. So if these are a little bit too intense, that's fine. try just planking and just doing alternating shoulder touches, all right? That's what I'll do this time through. If you can handle it, if the first time through you had it down where you could reach over your head, that's great. If not, follow along with me this time. And remember, there's different plank iterations you could do. Not everybody has to be on their toes the whole time. You can get down on your knees. That's a perfectly fine option. All right, here we go. So I'll do mine for my knees and do the shoulder taps this time. 30 seconds. On your marks, get set, and begin. Make sure you're under control. You're learning how to efficiently transfer that force so that when you're on one hand, you can make sure to stay upright and keep that straight line from your knees to your hips to your shoulders. All right, about 10 seconds left. Keep it up, keep going. If you're doing those over the head press, keep attacking it. Good job. 2, 1, and done. All right. Now we have the single leg glute bridge. Really try to emphasize that knee drive this time. Opposite knee drive. All right, I'm going to lift up on my heel, and then we're going to get started. 3, 2, 1, drive. So I've been extending my leg before I do the drive up because that simulates a more authentic drive. You know, it's hard to drive your knee up when it's already kind of bend and flex upward. So if you straighten it out first and then go to drive up when you do the glute bridge, it's just going to be a little more realistic. Might feel a little more natural. All right, 15 seconds left. All right, yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. Okay. Next up, we have the planking full body openers. So you can also do this one from your knees too. If you're doing it with a different plank, that's perfectly fine. But just make sure you're working those hips and getting them turned around when you do that step through. All right. So I'll step through with my left leg, open up my right arm, and then switch to the other side. Do the opposite. Step through with my right leg, open up my left arm. Regain control in the center. Step through, open up. All right. Keep it going. Keep it going. Just a little over 15 seconds left. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. All right, finish up with that isometric squat. Make sure you're doing those wall slides, okay? Over here, I was kind of hitting something, so I'm moving over here a little bit. Don't be alarmed. All right, focus on that good form here with the squat, and keep the backs of those hands and our forearms and elbows on the wall. Keep it going for 30 seconds. Well, this is supposed to be a 20-minute workout. I think we're kind of close to that. All right, on our last cycle through, we're going to do an abbreviated form of a cycle. So, got 5 seconds left here. 4, 3, 2, 1, done. Okay. Let me get a time check here. Grab a water for sure. Catch your breath. Okay, yeah, we're definitely coming up on that 20-minute mark. I think I'm going to keep you guys an extra couple minutes today. Sorry about that. Got a little long-winded with some of the explanations. We'll boil this next cycle down. So we're going to go real quick through our power cycle, all right? We're just going to do the supinated bird dogs into the single leg glute bridges and then the planking full body openers, okay? That's all we're going to do. So catch your breath. We got about 15 seconds left. We'll run right through the last cycle. Do a quick cool down, very quick, and then I'll let you know which muscles you should target in your stretching. Actually, I'll just give you some recommendations of what stretches to do. It's a little bit simpler, a little bit easier. All right, here we go. So, the supinated bird dogs. Get down on your back, get that space between your lower back and the ground, contract that core, and here we go. 3, 2, 1, begin. Make sure to breathe. Last cycle through, we're going to abbreviate it a little bit, but that means that you should attack it even harder. Get the most out of this workout. This is where you make it count. All right, 10 seconds left. Keep it up. Keep it up. Focus on that core. And extending those arms and legs straight. 3, 2, 1. Good. All right. Stay on your back. Stay sitting down or whatever. We're going to do those single leg glute bridges with the drive. Tilt those toes up in the air so you're just driving off your heels. Here we go. "30 seconds, that's it. It's probably about 20 left now. You should be definitely using your core to stabilize here as you go up. You don't want to just be throwing your hips above the straight line. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. Transition into that plank. Step through with one leg, open up the opposite arm. 30 seconds. Go get it. This is the last exercise of the workout. Make it count. Make it yours. Think powerful. 15 seconds left. Keep it up. I know we're running over time just a little bit, but that's all right. We'll be okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get a drink of water here. We'll do a quick cool down. All right, so for our cool down, I thought I had a couple fun ideas in mind, but we are gonna start with pulse rows. So if you can lay straight down, or lay flat on your belly, on your mat, put your palms flat on the ground. These are called pulse rows. So just start fluctuating your arms up, all right? Doesn't have to be fast, doesn't have to be super hard. Just get those muscles moving. Make sure you're breathing here. We need to supply our brain with the oxygen here. Start our recovery. Starts right now. Just keep going. Should feel this in the back of your upper arm / your upper back. All right. Put your hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up. We'll go back into that child's pose. So we'll sink our hips down to our feet. Reach out with our arms in front of us. And then what I want you to do is reach one arm through, down. Go back up to the child's pose, and then reach the other arm through and down. Do that 2 more times. Make sure you're breathing here. All right, and then the last fun little cool down exercise, just do some rocket rolls is what we call it. So roll onto your back, kick your legs up, roll back up like you're sitting up, rock it and roll it. All right, just do it one more time. Okay, well, that's it for our workout today. It's a nice little cool down. If you need to, you should definitely walk around a little bit more. You need to safely bring that heart rate down. It was a pretty intense workout, so make sure you spend the appropriate time cooling yourself down. I just don't want to keep you too long in the video. A couple things you could do, seriously, just walk around. Walk around and do some arm circles. The bigger the movement, but slower and under control, the best thing. It's going to promote the best, venous return to all your muscles and your brain. Couple exercises that you should do that would coincide for this workout and the muscles that we targeted. Our famous world's greatest stretch, butterflies, knee huggers. So that's like when you kind of sit down here, bring one knee across your chest, squeeze it towards your body. That'll really stretch out your glutes. And then just make sure you get some hamstring reaches in, okay? Also just, standing on your tippy toes, reach for the sky sometimes, stretch it out. That's a really good way to engage that core, elongate that core and relax after a nice workout like today. Well, nicely done. Nice job. Give yourself a pat on the back, and I'll see you next time.